The Black Millennial Cafe is possibly my life's greatest accident. I was in a program at Baylor, Church State Studies, which is like religion and policy, with all hopes of completing a PhD. I get into a bad accident. I can't make the 3-hour round trip drive anymore, and I have to find an alternative. My former pastor asked me to consider Virginia Union. I had never been to a HBCU. I had no idea the love and support I would walk into. I really wanted to create a discipleship curriculum for Black millennials because D-Man has to be a project that benefits your immediate context. And I got the clearance to do that, but I had to find research on Black millennials and faith in order to proceed. So like, Vashawn Mitchell, I searched all over, couldn't find no research. And I decided I had to create what did not exist. And if we think about it, that's exactly what we see in Genesis. In the beginning, God created. And I think that's our responsibility. I also think it's one of the first miracles we've ever seen. And I think it's a gift that's overlooked, the gift of innovation. And so I remember talking to everyone. They're like, Brianna, if you can get 300 surveys completed, we'll let it fly. And I'm like, that's it? And they're like, good thing you work at a mega church. You might want to do it in your context. And I'm like, well, that doesn't make a national study. So I gave it my best, feeling like I was called to do this work. And I had more than 1,100 respondents. I'm feeling like the people's champ at that point, and then I go from there and I have a host of small groups. And I'm like, cha-ching, look at me and look at God. And then I go from there and I do 4 in-depth interviews. I'm really, really proud of myself, if I'm honest at this point. But I had no plan for it. I was just doing a project that I thought was good. But people started to hear about my research. And 6 months before I graduated, people started calling me in to lecture. And then more people started calling me in to lecture. And I was lecturing quite often. And, if I'm honest, there was, too much money being exchanged. Well, not too much money because, you got to be careful just in case the feds watching. But there was enough money being exchanged that I knew I had to make a legitimate business. That's when I created my LLC and then a nonprofit that allows me to create for my community. But I did it because I realized everyone was talking about millennials, right? If I wanted positive research on Black millennials, I could not find it. But if I wanted research on, white evangelical millennials, there are so many books out there, so many projects, so many documentaries. And I was not going to beg someone to do for my community what I could do for myself. I knew that Black churches, Black communities, any organizations or institutions that were concerned with healthy millennial engagement needed the work that I was creating. And so, since then, not only did I start an organization, I have discipleship curriculum, Bible study curriculum. I do webinars for churches and soon for millennials. I just wrote a book, What Google Can't Give, the relevancy of the church for Black millennials in the tech age. And that's where I share my research, the numbers, the core of what I've been doing. I have a lot of places I want the Black Millennial Cafe to go, but it was actually my life's greatest accident. And it is my hope that I can do for my community things that no one else wanted to do, that are definitely valuable and show how much I value other Black millennials. Black Millennial Cafe allows me to be both the dream and the dreamer.